niggas linking up. Trill niggas linking up. Link up, my nigga, let's link up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of The Link Up. Our first time going live here at The Link Up. Yes, we coming live to you on Twitch. If y'all watching, man, definitely tap in. Y'all in for a very special episode today. If you like wrestling, well, this is the place for you. We about to talk nothing but wrestler. We actually have a wrestler in training for those who might be new to the pod. You know, my co-host, Allin Xander. I'm your host, Ron the Don, and welcome to another week of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Got a lot on deck today. Gotta talk All-In. Gotta talk Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. Got some PLEs coming up. Some very exciting news as well. And we got a lot to get to. But before we get started, man, the wrestling community over the past couple weeks lost a lot of figures, man. So we're going to have a moment of silence for Kevin Sullivan, Alpha of the Wild Samoans, and also Psycho Sid. So we're going to have a moment of silence right now, just paying respect to them. Definitely some huge losses. Prayers up to their whole families, man.
Yeah, man. I know the Wild Samoans. They touched a lot of hearts, in their family, and Psycho Sid, man, he's had some memorable moments. Like, one thing I will say, man, that one promo that he cut, and then when he botched the promo, it's talking about some I got half the brain that you do. Like, I'm just like, he was just like unintentionally like hilarious sometimes, bro. It just was like, man. So hey, kudos, you know what I mean? R.I.P. Psycho Sid. R.I.P. Wild Samoans, man. They, you know what I mean? As far as the Wild Samoans, they gonna live on through Roman Reigns, Zilla Fatu, the Usos. They gonna live on through all the Samoans that's coming up in the wrestling industry. Jacob Fatu, all of them. So
for sure. And with that, man, we had a banger of a pay-per-view this past weekend, man. The AEW All-In was live, coming in from London. And I'm not gonna lie.
And this is the thing. You can't talk about All-In without Mr. All-In himself, Allin Xander. So I was tapped in with that pay-per-view, that PLE, you know what I mean? So, but we got some things, we got some pros and we got some cons, and we're gonna go over that and all in this episode. So, y'all gonna hear my thoughts on everything. So
definitely, man. Look, All-In live from London. It was going crazy, man. Dare I say, top 3 pay-per-view of the year.
Ooh, that's a bold statement.
Nah, I agree. It was.
Look, I'm not saying you wrong, but that's a bold statement still, because people they're gonna argue that at the end of the day. People gonna try to argue that. Yeah. But you got a point. You know what I mean?
Being that this the first live episode, man, come on. Let me see what y'all got to say. But what did you think about All-In? What's some things that really like stood out to you?
I think it was pretty solid. You know what I mean? We got Will Ospreay going over against MJF. You got
that was a match, boy.
Shoot, you can't talk about All-In without that main event, yo. You know what I mean? You got Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, the debut of Ricochet. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's a lot that went on, man. But one thing I gotta talk about, man, is I don't know whose idea it was for Swerve Strickland to no-sell the flying knee by Daniel Bryan. The same flying knee that took out Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H. Hell, big names. And you mean to tell me Swerve Strickland brushed that off like it was nothing? I mean, hey, I don't know whose idea it was, but I'm just saying that's making them kind of look a little. That's kind of a slap in the face to WWE for if you asking me. I'm just saying.
See this. Now I'm not gonna lie. This pay-per-view right here, this made me want to watch AEW Dynamite tonight when we get off of this. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's the thing about AEW. That's always gonna be an Achilles heels for like people that just enjoy wrestling. Sometimes, man, you just gotta say the finisher to be a finisher. It shouldn't always be a move that gets kicked out of. It shouldn't always be none of that. But besides that, man, all the matches were fire, on point. Man, getting back to that Will Ospreay and MJF, that was a banger. Boy, and then to have Daniel Garcia get his revenge at the end, taking the mask off, when a lot of people thought he wasn't even gonna resign, I thought that was big. And then of course, you know, the hometown kid getting a victory in his home country, in his land. Um, so definitely looking forward to that. We, like you said, we got the debut of Ricochet. So rumor no more, he's actually here. Also,
All elite.
not to forget, Nigel McGuinness made a return in the ring in his home country. Uh, we saw the debut of the grizzled young veterans, who I thought that was like my favorite duo back in the NXT UK days. They showed up, attacked FTR after their match in the triple threat tag team match. And then how about this one guy that's really growing on me, the scapegoat, Jack Perry, man. Like he's starting to grow into his own as a character. That match with Darby was nuts. Any Darby Allin match is nuts. Having Sting come out to save him at the end was crazy. The crowd went wild. What were your thoughts on that match? Because that was a good one.
So, see, man, I hate to admit this to you, man. I've always had a sour taste in my mouth for him, but I hate to admit this, bro. Jack Perry has grown on me too. It's just it just has, man. But one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing soon enough, because it's gonna happen. I would like to see, maybe a heel Jack Perry and a Luchasaurus cross paths. You know what I mean? Who's to say that that's not gonna happen? I mean, they may, still not mess with each other, or they might, click up. But who knows? I mean, he doing his thing still with Christian Cage, who, if I'm not mistaken, is also coming off of a win. He's the number one contender. So
That'd be crazy.
It's looking pretty bright right now. Oh, and I recently seen a picture, dude. Christian Cage, bro. Dude's ripped. Like in his 50s, bro. Dude is ripped. I'm just like, man, I ain't doing something right, because dang, bro, that's just crazy.
No, I definitely see it. Him and his best friend Adam Copeland before the injury, crazy in shape. That's one thing about wrestlers. They wrestling all the way up to in their 50s. Man, they be in shape. You could look at any wrestler, they stay in
Chris
shape.
Jericho,
Yeah, but I mean,
Chris Jericho's still my dog though. It's just like it's kind of a hot take. And I know we live. This is the first time going live, and this is a very, very hot take. But he has to know when it's time. I mean, John Cena, he knows when it's time. He said in an interview that he knows that he's not able to wrestle at the full capacity that he used to. That's why he wants to stop wrestling. He doesn't want to be one of them old wrestlers that's coming back trying to get their last match off, and it's just a bad match. So I just think Jericho needs to know when it's time. Like you've done a lot for the industry. Trust me. Like you are going down, and if they ever have a Hall of Fame, you will be in both the WWE and AEW Hall of Fame. Period. So it's nothing around that. So trust me, I'm giving him his flowers, but he just gotta know when it's time to just hang it up. But I could see him being a good manager though. Like he don't gotta be away from the industry all the way. I ain't saying that now, because trust me, Chris Jericho, I'm pretty sure he loves the business that much. So I can see him doing some stuff behind the scenes or something like that. But it's just, man, you
definitely
that's almost that
commentator.
time.
He gotta be in commentary and creative. Like, one thing about Chris Jericho, he always reinventing himself. So
Right.
for a company
Did a
that
damn
get
good job at it
criticized,
too.
exactly.
He's had like so many different characters, bro. And like I can't name a bad one. I genuinely can't name a bad one. Not even his 09 and 2010 run, where he was like the nonchalant Chris Jericho, save me Chris Jericho. That wasn't even bad.
I was about to say, no pun intended, but I haven't been all in on this learning tree, Chris Jericho.
I mean,
Man.
it's alright. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's bad, but it ain't that good. You know, it's on the mid tier. You know, but it's still, you know, it's alright. He's just right now, like he really has to just like I was saying, it's time, man. It's time.
It's time. Speaking of time, man. It's seeming that time is up for the Performance Center in Orlando, man. It's reported that WWE is possibly moving the Performance Center to Las Vegas, which makes sense. They under the TKO umbrella now, which they're big in Las Vegas. What are your thoughts on this? You know, definitely want to hear from you. You a wrestler in training. I know you at Wildcat right now, but you know you on the wrestling scene, people up and coming in the industry. What's your thoughts on WWE potentially moving the PC to Vegas?
Now, see, I can understand it's good from a business standpoint, but I mean, this is my thing. Didn't they have NXT Battleground in that Apex?
Mm-hmm.
The Apex Arena? And I'm pretty sure that's most likely where they're going to have NXT at, because they're probably going to have NXT in Las Vegas as well. So they're going to have their tapings in Vegas. They're probably going to have to move all the talent to Vegas. And with that, it's just they've already had complaints. You know, people that was performing on NXT Battleground apparently was giving out complaints saying that they weren't able to, you know, do certain moves outside the ring. So
yeah, the arena was kind of small.
That's gonna be a big, you know, like hurdle to kind of go off of, because like they're gonna probably have to expand that Apex. They're gonna make live tapings in the Apex. You're gonna have to expand it, because
not
that
to cut you off, though.
Go back and watch that ladder match for the North American Championship, the Women's North American Championship. They had no room to do any ladder spots outside. There was barely any room. Like, no diving spots, no nothing. You couldn't get nothing off. So it's just like, that would just be a big like crossroads hurdle that they would have to go by. But other than that, I mean, if it works for them, hey, it works for me. I mean, it's just, if it's a good business move, hey, I'm for it. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna figure that out. You know, they're probably gonna figure something out in that regard, because if they don't, they're probably gonna see that it's like, okay, this venue's a little small. You know, as far as for the wrestlers, they can't do much moves. So now we gotta make some changes. So I don't know. I have high hopes that they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wasn't trying to cut you off, but I think NXT is gonna be on the road starting soon when they go to the CW. They already, they're gonna be traveling a lot more now when they move to the CW.
You know what?
So
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're doing one in St. Louis and Chicago. So you know what? Them moving to Vegas probably won't be a bad idea. If that's the case, then it really won't be a bad idea then, because I mean, if they're gonna have the same traveling schedule as SmackDown and Raw superstars, then essentially NXT talent can live wherever. You know what I mean? They don't have to be stationed in one spot. Because all the NXT talent, if you want to catch them, they probably in Orlando and Tampa. You know what I mean? They all out there living.
I was gonna say another thing that was being reported was they could potentially just make another performance center in Las Vegas and still keep the one in Orlando. So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
So you think it'll be two PCs or just one PC?
Me personally, I think it'll just be one for the sake of I don't think TKO cares to have two PCs, and then it would just be double the talent that you'll have to have under a PC contract. So I don't see them having two PCs.
Yeah.
But I will say it's definitely gonna hurt me as far as unless I gotta move to Las Vegas. I'm still holding out for that NXT creative job, man. Rock with your boy.
I'm telling you, man. Look. I'm gonna say is y'all around the Don. He ain't nobody to mess with when it comes to storytelling and promos and writing up storylines and stuff, man. He be coming up with some crazy concepts that actually make sense. You know what I mean? So,
speaking of making sense, Swerve Strickland said when he was in WWE, he felt like the reason that he didn't have much success there or reach the levels that he's reaching now is because of politics. Now, when he says politics, what do you think he means?
I think you and I both know what he meant when he said that. But I mean that could be a possibility because when did Swerve? So when Swerve wasn't on the main roster and SmackDown and all that, who was running the ship? Was it Vince running the ship? Vince was running it, right?
Yeah.
That explains it. I look, the viewers at home, they can read between the lines. I ain't really gotta say nothing. So they already, I already knew like what Swerve was talking about. So I didn't need no context or nothing. I seen that article. I'm like, yeah, I already knew what he meant. It's just, that's just one thing that a lot of us like upcoming wrestlers got to worry about. It's just it kind of does leave a lot of us men of color that are wrestling with that that hesitation, like, oh, how are we gonna get treated in the industry? You know what I mean? Like, it's already bad enough people think of us as like, they look at us and like we're a joke. You know what I mean? So it's like it's already bad enough with that, but now with slapping the fact that we black and we coming up, so it's just like, now we gotta worry about that too. But I mean, he's doing good in AEW right now though, so
for sure. And I honestly I don't want to go all the way left with it, but I saw a comment not that long ago saying that when it comes to guys like Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, it seems that all the men of color wrestlers, black wrestlers, fall into the same category as far as character. What is your outlook on that, being that you are in the wrestling industry or training to get further in the wrestling industry? What is your outlook on that? Do you feel like it's some merit to that, or how you feel about that?
Like, they kind of have the same character essence or like aesthetic for their characters and stuff? Kind of like, was that what you're saying?
Yeah, like basically the comment was like, okay, like you got Mello walking around cocky black guy, with drip, aura. Then you got Trick Williams walking around cocky black guy, drip, aura. Javon Evans, cocky young black guy, drip, aura. That formula.
I hate to say it though. This is probably gonna sound kind of fishy coming from me, but with them three names you just mentioned, it makes sense for them. Like, it just makes sense for them, like, because they just have that build about them and that like look about them and that feel about them, where it's just like, oh, okay, like I could see this being on them. But I do get what you mean though. Like, they can use more, like men of color with different characters, different character models and stuff like that, like different like gimmicks and stuff. You know what I mean? So I do get like where you're coming from.
Oh, I didn't say this. I actually disagree with the comment and as a whole because like for every Carmelo Hayes, you got R-Truth, you got the New Day, you got Sunny Kiss. You know, it's not just a whole land full of like swerves and people like that. You got the Acclaim,
Right.
like everybody kind of. I think it's one of those things that they can all relate in a sense where they give off the same vibe because it's not a lot of men, but all of them different in their aspect. Like the Street Profits, they different. Bobby Lashley is different. They're not all the same. Omos is different. So, but yeah, I want to get into some other shows this week, man. SmackDown. Did you have a chance to check that out? What was your thoughts on it?
Oh, see, I didn't really get to watch a lot of wrestling this week. So, man, I did see a little bit of highlights, you know, with the whole like Jacob Fatu thing, him having to give the belt to like Tongaloa and stuff like that. And so I seen
See, I
that, but I really wasn't really doing much with like wrestling this week. I didn't really watch a lot of wrestling this week, so I can't even.
yeah, I wanted to pick your brain about that like because it seemed like Jacob was a little hesitant at first. He ultimately,
Yeah.
gave up the belts. But I have a theory about this, but I wanted to see what you want. I wanted to see what you had to say about it before I get into that theory, though.
Now, see, yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna be hesitant. I mean, that's a title that you won. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, they kind of, I guess they want to play off this like kayfabe injury thing, and I guess now he's gonna be his real enforcer. So, in essence, he's probably gonna go after the U.S. title, and you know, most likely, Solo gonna be the only one with a championship, calling himself the tribal chief. I think I see that's how that's gonna go.
Oh, see, I thought like if you remember, everybody was saying Roman only put Solo in the title of enforcer because the enforcer was the only one who didn't have a championship. He put him in that role so that way Solo doesn't get out of line. So instead of letting him taste real gold, real success, it was a way to keep Solo in line. I think it's the same thing with Jacob Fatu. Solo can kind of sense that Jacob is the man right now. All the this whole time, every time Roman Reigns showed up, the bloodline getting beat down. What happens? Jacob Fatu shows up, Roman Reigns get put down. So it's like I feel like Solo is recognizing that, so he trying to strip away the little power that Jacob, the little run that Jacob on right now to kind of put him in his place, so to speak. That's just my theory about it.
Yeah, see, I hate to say it, but you can't keep Jacob Fatu down long enough. I mean, I cannot wait for them to finally like unleash his like full character, like his full character work. Cause man, oh man, that dude can talk, and boy, that dude can fight. Like that
For
dude there
sure.
is just. It's something about that dude, bro. Like when we was talking about it factors the other week, bro, he definitely has that it factor for sure.
Nah, he's it. I also think in the group, I hate to say this because everybody been tarnishing his name, but the only one that ain't got it right now is the guy that they gave the belt to. Man, he had a decent tag match, no botches, but he definitely it's not looking right. But also another thing I wanted to ask you about, they kind of tease Kevin Owens potentially backstabbing Cody Rhodes on the Waller effect. They showed Kevin Owens' history. It looked Kevin Owens accidentally hit Cody. In the main event when they defeated Theory and Waller, Kevin Owens looked like he was about to nail Cody with the title, and Cody seems like he's having his reservations about Kevin Owens. What's your thoughts? Do you think Kevin Owens will turn?
So I peeped that Kevin Owens said that the reason why he did all that is because they all had it coming to them. So a way that I could see that they spin this is that they give us like a quote unquote scenario where Cody Rhodes has it coming to him and he turns on Cody Rhodes. Because that's the only way it'll make sense. Because we all see it coming. We all see, Kevin Owens turning on Cody Rhodes. It's just
for sure.
he has to have a reason.
That's facts.
If he doesn't, the only clear thing that I could see coming out of this is Austin Theory finally, turning face. That's just me. One of the two things is gonna happen.
He will.
Huh?
If not both. I said if not both.
Yeah.
But nah, I feel like KO is not gonna turn because I feel like, not to give away what we're gonna do later, but I feel like when a certain somebody loses this weekend and returns to SmackDown, he's gonna be the one to turn. Or you never know, it could be Kevin Owens' turn first. Randy, dang, I gave his name away. Randy pretends that he's on Cody's side, and it's a plot by both of them. Who gonna stab Cody in the back first?
Oh,
you never know.
We gotta save these for our little, segment we got later.
For sure. But that was SmackDown. Also, shout out Chelsea Green. I don't know why, but the prospect of Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton getting into a rivalry, like, it's very entertaining. So shout out Chelsea Green for sure.
Yeah.
Now we got to move on to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw went crazy. I'm a little pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I had a great time at Monday Night Raw, which is funny because I had somebody on TikTok trying to say I actually didn't go to Monday Night Raw, but I didn't feed into, they BS. But this Monday Night Raw went crazy. As compared to last week, was almost like a transition Monday Night Raw. This was the go home Monday Night Raw for Bash at Berlin, and we saw a lot. What stood out to you in this show?
I'd say honestly the fact that Randy Orton, the fact that he really wants to win this Royal Heavyweight Championship, because that was he was the first one to win it as far as like the youngest world champ. And he's kind of bringing that up now, and the fact that I think he wants to be the one that beats the record before John Cena does, with the whole Ric Flair thing. And honestly, with how many years he says he wants to be in the game, I could see it happening. But but see, that's probably going to spoil a little bit what we got as far as like the predictions wise, but it's just not going to be today. I'll just say that. It's not going to be today.
I'm not going to lie. You just sparked the idea in my mind, bruh. Like, say on this, not to go too astray off of Raw, but say in the future on this John Cena farewell tour, and in the chase to get the record, say we get a program between Cena, Orton, and Cody, because both want to take the title off of them to get that record. Now, Orton is behind Cena right now, but if he can stop Cena from getting that record so he can get that record, that'll be hard. Also, I
don't know how we're going to get there. I don't know what's going to happen, but before John Cena retires, bro, I need a John Cena versus Randy Orton match at WrestleMania. I need it. 1-on-1. No triple threat. No nothing. I need John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. 1-on-1. One more time.
Got to.
If you put that on a poster right now, that'll sell Mania tickets. I'm just saying. That'll sell Mania tickets. People will be wanting to watch that one more time, So,
for sure.
I just need that.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got CM Punk versus John Cena, though.
That too. We probably gonna get that.
Nah, I think we get in Seth versus CM Punk. Most likely.
So many matches that he has to do in 1 year's time. Oh my god.
I know.
The one match, I'm kind of mad he didn't sign with him, because one match I would have loved to see, bro. MJF versus John Cena, dog.
That would have been dope.
That match, but the promo battles between them two, bro. Dog, movie, cinema.
Hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. We heard Tony Khan say it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. So if anybody can make it happen, John Cena can make it happen.
Yeah, John Cena and Triple H right now is like, look, I want to wrestle MJF. Find a way to do it. They'll find a way to do it. And I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they'll find a way.
I hope so, because I know damn well John Cena ain't going to no AEW. I know that off rip.
What they gonna call him by his full name? Jonathan Felix Anthony Cena. Oh dang!
But the one thing that stood out to me on Monday Night Raw had to be the battle between Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman.
Oh yeah, parking lot brawl.
Crazy. And first of all, I got so scared when Braun Strowman tackled him and Bronson slid across that roof because it was almost like he landed right on the back of his head on the concrete.
See,
it was going crazy.
Me personally, bro. Like, this is going off of a comment that I seen, on Twitter about this whole Bronson Reed thing. So I think, because I kind of agree with the comment, so I think they building them up this much
to get put down,
maybe for a beast to come in and take them down.
You think so?
I mean, look, a guy could dream, man. That's all I'm saying.
I don't see that. It could be because one thing that's floating out there at WrestleMania this past year, we were supposed to get Gunther and the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Now, if he come in, slay WWE's modern day Beast, that would suck for Bronson Reed, because everybody that gets a push, they got to answer to Brock Lesnar, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
no. See, I'm not saying that Brock will be going over in that case, because that would kind of suck. Like, you would have to have Bronson Reed go over on Brock Lesnar. That would just make the most sense, because he's the new kid on the block. He's the shiny new toy. He's the one that's coming up right now, making a name for himself. Yeah. Brock Lesnar, he's already established. This win ain't gonna tarnish his old legacy he got going on. This little loss that he takes, if it was to happen. So yeah, if they was to that match, bro, I would not see Brock winning that at all. I'd be surprised though.
I honestly feel like they building Bronson Reed up this crazy, so that way it makes him a credible opponent for Seth. Because if they would have just started this program off like how they did, nobody was really believing like Bronson Reed would go over. It's just a way to start the program. But now that he's doing it to all these people, he's definitely gonna, Seth is gonna come back, get his revenge, beat him. That's how I see it going. But one thing I want to say about the Brock Lesnar thing, I truly believe before that whole scandal situation happened, instead of The Undertaker showing up, it was supposed to be Brock Lesnar coming at WrestleMania. Even though they said Stone Cold. Yeah, I feel like Brock Lesnar was supposed to be in there some way, somehow. Only because the program that they had, the history between Brock and Roman Reigns, you could have got a match between Solo and Brock Lesnar out of that. That was just my thought. I definitely saw Brock Lesnar in that spot.
Yeah,
for sure. And then the program he had with the program he had with Cody, he gave Cody his respect at the end. I definitely saw that. But we also had Intercontinental Championship action going on. Well, not action, but who's going to be the next number one contender. We saw Jey Uso advance, and we saw Pete Dunne advance. And then later on in Monday Night Raw, we saw Braun Breaker insult Jey Uso, saying that nobody in his family ever beat a Steiner. And it damn sure won't start with Jey Uso beating Braun Breaker to get that IC title off of him. But damn all that, we got to get to some comments by Jey Uso's father, Rikishi, because Rikishi has been so salty as of late. Now, I'm going to go into depth further, but Rikishi basically says Jey Uso, the Yeet Man as he calls him, has been putting in all this work. He's one of the most popular guys right now, but he has nothing to show for it. No championships, no real push. He's waiting off in the sidelines. And what stood out to everybody on the net, Rikishi says, if WWE ain't willing to push him, he knows some other places that would be willing to push him. What's your thoughts on all this hoopla that Rikishi calls?
Now, see, man, a couple of podcast episodes ago, we was talking about Rikishi and stuff about, and I agreed. I agreed at first because at the time it made sense. You know what I mean? You want the best. Excuse me. You want the best for your, for your son. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you see, put in the work. It ain't nothing happening. But at this point, it's just like, man, we already know they're not gonna pull the trigger because we already know what they're waiting on. Like they're trying to set up something with the bloodline and Jey Uso again. So, So look, honestly, these comments, man, you just gotta chill. Like, you really gotta just chill, cause honestly, it's not looking too good with that. Like, you gotta just some things, man. You gotta just be like, yo, just chill out.
Nah, Rikishi, as a father, I respect where you coming from, bro. You just want the best for your son. Any father would do that. But at the same time, to say that he's not being pushed, that's absolutely, not true. Because
I hate to say it, but his push is making it to where he can go to, countries that he wasn't that he really not supposed to be in. You know what I mean? From what I'm hearing. So that seems like a push to me. Excuse me.
Also, like you said, Jey Uso will be getting back into the bloodline storyline, which I don't think they told Rikishi this because obviously he wouldn't be saying all of this. Jey Uso, I'm pretty sure, it would be great for him to go have a super kick fest with the Young Bucks, and I'm not dissing in AEW, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure Jey Uso is happy in his spot right now. Where was the same energy for Jimmy Uso? This man got off by the Timu bloodline, and he just chilling at home. And I'm pretty sure in a couple of months, after the Judgment Day get finished with the Terror Twins, they're going to be dropping them tag team titles to Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Now, it sucks for Jimmy, because now his brother going to have 2 title reigns without him. But that's what's going to happen, Rikishi. With all due respect, bro. I respect your family. I'm just saying, it's with Triple H in this new era, it's a wait and see. They plant seeds. You just gotta give it time. You gotta let it grow. Speaking of planting seeds, that was happening a lot throughout Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you noticed, Xander, but Karrion Kross was talking to The Miz backstage as Drew McIntyre was shown walking backstage. And also, the New Day still has some issues going on. Kofi asked Xavier why he changed his outfit. Xavier Woods was kind of being sarcastic a little bit, saying everything was all good and gravy. We had Bronson Reed warning The Miz that he gonna be next after he finished with Braun Strowman. We had The Miz say that every time he's trying to do good, everything goes wrong. So this could be alluding to something with The Miz. So we got a lot of seed planting on Raw. Which one of those situations that I said stood out to you?
Now, see them backstage segments. with like Drew and Karrion and Miz. One thing about this Triple H era, they not gonna show stuff just for no damn reason. Like we said, they planting a seed with something there. I don't know what they cooking up with them three, but they doing something. But Xavier Woods, it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. If you know, you know. And yeah, man, it's just and you notice with Xavier Woods, he was kind of sneaking in them sarcastic ass comments to Kofi Kingston when they was talking, right? You kind of peeped that. Yeah, you might be getting Xavier Woods from turn to the other side. That's gonna be very interesting to see, though. I'm kind of excited to see it. I'm excited because he's been like, to be honest, he's been babyface for most of his career.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing him
even
as a
Consequences
heel
Creed.
Huh?
I said even Consequences Creed was face.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely I'm looking forward. At first I was like, nah, the New Day, but hearing that heartbreaking news about Big E potentially never coming back, it just makes sense.
Now see,
they kind of
this is one thing I know about the WWE, about wrestling in general. When they say someone's never coming back, you always got to have in your back pocket that there's a chance they can come back. Look at Edge. Look at Bryan Danielson. Nobody knew Edge was coming back. Nobody would even think Edge would be coming back to the ring. So wrestle full time? Like, yeah, I mean, a part-time. Like, see, when he came back, everybody there's going to be a part-timer. Nope. He came back on a full-time schedule. Wrestling every week on SmackDown, every week on Raw. So you never know. You just never know. So Big E, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I hope and pray because I know wrestling is your is your love. You love the sport, so it's gonna find a way to come back to you. And I just know it's gonna find a way to come back. Hell, another person I left out on the list, Soraya Paige, whatever you want to call her. She was supposed to retire. What? What's funny?
All I'm gonna say is we got from Xavier Woods to Paige, and I'm gonna let you do the rest.
Hey, if you know, you know. Just look, we keeping it PG. You know what's good.
Yeah, but last thing I want to touch on the Monday Night Raw, or two more things actually on the Monday Night Raw front. Did you get to see how like WWE is advancing? CM Punk was on Instagram Live under the ring while Drew McIntyre was cutting his blasphemous promo. CM Punk was hiding under the ring on Instagram Live, and then attacked Drew McIntyre from behind. Which was pretty dope.
Crazy. I kind of like how they're doing that now. Like they're kind of implementing social media into like the live product. Hell, look at Grayson Waller and Austin Theory when they was on SmackDown.
Yeah,
they did it. They literally showed the whole set before SmackDown went on the air. I think they was the first to really start that for real. It was Grayson and Austin Theory. I think they really started doing that. Yeah, I think they was the first one to start doing that, and I think that's what they're gonna start doing from now on. Which I think it's good, you know what I mean? Because it kind of gives the people that aren't currently watching it right now, it keeps them updated in real time.
Yeah, they started that. Logan Paul's been a pioneer for that. When he does the splash off the top rope to the announce table. So I definitely thought that was dope. And then another place I wanted to get to for Monday Night Raw was the main event. Uncle Howdy and Chad Gable. Uncle Howdy, I saw him in person. Uncle Howdy looks jacked, bro. You was talking about Christian Cage? Like, Uncle Howdy been in that gym. So, I seen that up close for myself. Pause on that. No diddy. But he defeated Chad Gable. What did you think about Uncle Howdy's in-ring debut?
Good. It was great. I liked it. There's one small thing that I probably would change. And it's something so minor, but that's really all it is. It's just that wig. I think she should just rock his real hair. If not, just dye it that color.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you noticed, but the wig was kind of in his way a little bit during the match. It was like a little bit in his way. So I guess he's kind of pulling off a Kane move with that, because Kane used to do that, add the hair attached to the mask and then put the mask on. So I think he's pulling a Kane move with that. But if you're not going to change, if you're not going to take the hair off the mask, at least cut the hair that's on the mask. Cut it a little bit. Just so it's not in your way.
I feel you. Other than that, I thought the match was fine. I thought it was a pretty damn good main event. They get in the main event.
A lot of homage to Bray Wyatt too in that match. A lot of homage.
Definitely. If you know, and Luke Harper or Brody Lee, as some may know him. And that was WWE this week, and they have a PLE this upcoming week in Germany, Bash at Berlin. Gotta go prediction time. We usually sometimes on the money, sometimes not. SummerSlam we was on the money with a lot, so we're gonna try our hand at Bash at Berlin, and we're gonna start with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Before I go any further, there's only 5 matches on this card, so I already know people about to start crying. But the Women's Tag Team Championship match, the Unholy Union, Isla Dawn, Alba Fire, defending against 2 out of the big 3, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Who's your pick to win?
Give me the Unholy Union. I'll take them.
See,
this is probably going to be the first. This is probably going to be the first sign planting seeds towards that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill rivalry. They're going to start planting them seeds for that.
My bad. I was having some technical difficulties.
You good?
You can. All right. So this one tough because the only thing that I keep thinking about is who takes the pin. Odds are that it's Bianca. But it's like, this is the only way I see it. I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to have to go to Unholy Union. Again, they're going to be in Europe. I don't see... I agree. I think this is going to start to form the cracks in that relationship. It's tough, but I do agree with you. Next, we got the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
CM Punk.
I agree.
He is not. I repeat, he is not losing 2 in a row. I will be surprised if he loses 2 in a row.
He's not.
Like, that right there would just that was shocking. Like, I'd be like, but he's not. I don't think he's losing 2 in a row. They're gonna make this into a series, so he ain't losing 2 in a row.
This is all leading up to Bad Blood in Atlanta, Georgia, Hell in a Cell, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. This is what it's all leading up to. I'm telling you, mark it down right now.
Not to go off topic, let's see. If you're gonna have a Bad Blood pay-per-view, they're gonna have to find some kind of way on how they're gonna do it.
First
Blood. Find a way to make a First Blood match. You have to find a way. You. It's just it's not bad, or at least in your main event, you gotta have color. You have to have color. You gotta have blood. Like so somebody gotta bleed, because it just makes sense.
I got an idea though. If you gonna do that, it gotta be between Roman and Solo or Roman and Jacob, because they the bloodline. And blood gotta be shed. It gotta be between them. But Hell in a Cell for Drew and CM Punk. And y'all gotta chill out on my dog CM Punk. I done saw a lot of comments online saying that CM Punk might not even make it out of this match because he always getting injured. So let's not hope for that. Next match.
We don't pray for downfalls and injuries around here. That's serious, bro.
Yeah. That's the IWC for you. Next matchup, we got the mixed tag match: Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio versus the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest.
That's tough. Whoever you get, who you got? Who you got winning this? I'll ask you first.
I got the Terror Twins, and I think Rhea Ripley is gonna pin Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, give me Terror Twins. I guess we're both either gonna be right, or we both gonna be dead wrong.
I'm using your logic though, because I don't, like you said with CM Punk, I don't see Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest losing 2 in a row. I don't see it.
Yeah.
But that's who I got. Now we got the WWE Championship match: Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. We can say this on 3 if you want. 3, 2, 1. Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. No, I'm not even gonna explain why. It's just Cody Rhodes. I'm not gonna even explain. Now, will there be some plot twists? I don't know, but Cody's coming out as the champ. But there may be a couple plot twists every there, like now and again. But I don't see him losing the title at Bash in Berlin.
The biggest unsung hero in title reigns since the COVID era has been Kevin Owens. My favorite feud from that whole pandemic was Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. That was the best feud.
I still think Kevin Owens beat Roman Reigns in that last man standing match, though. Why didn't that ref count to
10? Nah. Then, you had Kevin Owens running it back at the Royal Rumble again, 2 years later, going against Roman again? When Sami Zayn got booted out of the bloodline by choice.
Believe it or not, KO has really been a big part of his bloodline storyline.
He has.
He's been in it from the jump.
And technically he's still a part of it.
Yep.
It's
almost like a supporting cast member. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in a show, like that, the protagonist in the show.
Definitely. And then we have our main event, which I think is going to be the main event because we're in Germany. Gunther defending his World Heavyweight Championship versus Randy Orton. Now, before you give your answer, I do want to say, because we didn't do the pod last week, and if, just to give a disclaimer, it's a spoiler alert. I don't know if you remember on last week Raw when Gunther said when Randy Orton RKO'd him a couple weeks ago, that was going to be the last time he ever did that. That was a lie. I didn't get to catch it on video because it happened so fast, but when Raw went off the air last week, Randy Orton RKO'd Gunther in the middle of that ring, took the World Heavyweight Championship and held it in the air. So, for everybody that's wondering, so it can happen. But with all that being said, who is your pick for the championship match?
Gunther, man. Just because he just won that World Heavyweight Championship, and Randy Orton, he has to beat Randy Orton to prove that, he's here to stay. That's one of the best wrestlers right now on the roster, as of right now. So you beat him, you make yourself a legitimate champ. So I got Gunther.
I'm going to agree with you. RKO or not, Gunther is walking out of Germany with that World Heavyweight Championship still around his waist. Now, I know we live, but everybody going to get to see the real stuff. Did you want to do predictions for NXT No Mercy, or because we already approaching an hour?
You know what? We can do a speed run.
All right, say less.
Yeah, let's do a speed run. No Mercy NXT speed run. We just gonna say names, no explanations. We just gonna say names.
Wesley versus Zachary Wentz. Wesley.
Wesley.
All right. NXT Tag Team Championship match. Chase U defending against Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
Chase U.
Chase U. North American Championship match. Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo.
Obafemi.
Obafemi. NXT Women's North American Championship match. Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu.
Kalani Jordan.
Crazy. NXT Women's Championship match. Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker. Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez.
NXT Championship match. Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. Special guest referee Trick Williams.
Ethan Page, Trick Williams turning heel. I said what I said.
All right. Before we get on out of here, I don't even know if I should do it. Want to do a top 5? I got an interesting top 5 today.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we could do the back and forth. We don't got to do our own separate list, but in honor of the Pure Fusion Collective, we're gonna do our segment top 5 worst tag team / stable names of all time.
Top 5, no debating. Top 5.
Ooh. Oof, that's a tough one.
I'll go first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 5, Samoa Joe and Wardlow. Ward-Joe.
Oof, what was that? What was that one team? What's his face is in it? Trent Beretta, the Dude Busters.
The Dude Busters? Yeah.
Yes. The Dude Busters.
Number 3. This is interesting.
Well, my computer going to do some technical difficulties.
Oh man. Oh, what was R-Truth and Goldust's name? I forgot, but it was
Golden
terrible.
Truth? Golden Truth?
Golden Truth. Yeah, that jump was trash.
I've heard worse.
That jump was trash.
All right, I got another one for you. Curtis Axel and Rybaxel.
Yeah, that was trash. All right. Number 1. It's like I'm thinking of all the good name teams. If you think of one, let me know. Oh, I know. What was they called? I think they was called the League of Nations with Sheamus, Wade Barrett, Rusev.
Yeah.
Yeah, that jump was trash.
That's the number 1?
It probably don't deserve to be number 1. It's way worse tag team names than AEW. I just can't think of them.
I was gonna say that one group with Al Snow and Steve Blackman, Head Cheese.
Yeah, that definitely.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That would not get over in this time.
I knew a lot more good. I knew a lot. Oh, that's what I thought of. Night Team PCB. Team PCB.
Who was in that?
Paige, Charlotte, and Becky.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's Vince for you.
Shout out to the Submission Sorority. Don't look that up on Google. But anything you want to say to the people before we get on out of here?
I want to say, everybody, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, to our first live link up, so shout out to everybody watching. And we're going to be back next week. But in the meantime, we gonna sit back and watch this AEW Fallout for All-In. Because need to see what's cooking on that. This is my first time watching AEW in some months.
For real. Same. At least a full episode. But man, I appreciate y'all. For those who did tune in live, whether you tune in for 10 seconds the whole time, I appreciate you. There is one person watching, so appreciate you. For those watching on YouTube, you know, if you want to watch us live, subscribe to the Twitch, TLU_ Ron the Don. Subscribe to the Twitch, TLU_ Ron the Don if you want to watch us live. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you listen to us on all podcast platforms, follow us, leave a 5-star rating, follow us on the gram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on TikTok. I'm your host, Ron the Don, my co-host, Mr. Allin, Allin Xander. Another week in wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, and we out.
Just at an hour.
Trip forever and I'm just not getting started. That's the one. Yeah.